Welcome back. Most of us have been taught to see the Bible through the eyes of settled people. People who build walls, claim property, and anchor their faith in places and institutions. But what if the story of Scripture isn't primarily about settling down? What if it's about moving with God together as a flock, family, a tribe on the move? That's why this course is called Let Nomads Move You. Because once you start to see through nomadic eyes, the Bible stops feeling ancient and starts feeling alive again. From Genesis to Revelation, God keeps choosing people who move. Abraham, Moses, David, even Jesus. They lived in tents, walked dusty paths, depended on one another for community, and listened for the shepherd's voice in wide open spaces. And that nomadic way of life isn't just a backdrop for their stories, it's the context of their faith. Nomads understood belonging in ways that most of us have forgotten. They didn't just believe, they followed together. Their strength wasn't in possessions, but in relationships, clan, kin, and tribe, flock. When we rediscover that worldview, we realize God never called us to live as isolated believers, each tending our own fenced-in plot. He called us to move with Him together, trusting that He knows where the next pasture lies. And this isn't just ancient history. There are still millions of nomadic peoples today, shepherds, herders, traders, travelers, who live this way every day. They understand things about community, trust, and dependence on God that we've nearly lost in our modern sedentary world. Learning from them isn't nostalgia, it's renewal. It's an invitation to rediscover a way of life that's mobile, relational, and deeply spiritual. As you move through this course, my hope isn't that you'll just learn about nomads, but that you'll let them move you. Move you to think differently about Scripture. Move you to belonging differently, to see church not as a building, but as a flock. Move to live differently, less fenced in, more open-handed, and more connected to others and to the shepherd himself. This journey isn't about the past. It's about reclaiming a way of being God's people that the world desperately needs again.